Before I put my supplementary question, I'd like to place on records our heartfelt thanks to thousands of Mauritians and foreign citizens who volunteered to help save our environment. Let me come to the first question. As Minister of Shipping, have you bothered to find out within the first week of grounding whether the captain of the vessel has complied with all established procedures while sailing in the territorial waters of Mauritius?
This onus is on the Director of Shipping, and I understand that the preliminary inquiry and all the reports are coming. So as the report will be ready, we'll...
You don't know, all right.
Still,
okay. Has the captain submitted his report?
The Director of Shipping was in contact with the captain of the vessel.
He submitted a report because by law, he's bound to submit a report. Has he submitted a report?
Not a report.
Has he submitted, yes or no?
He has submitted statements of facts asked by the Director of Shipping.
And in the meantime, there's the worst oil disaster in this country. Has your ministry bothered to find out from the captain within the first week of the grounding what went wrong for his ship to get stranded on our reef?
The preliminary inquiry is on, Mr. Speaker, sir. This will determine.
Mr. Speaker, in the meantime, there is the worst oil disaster. Can I ask the Honourable Minister, knowing that Mauritius is signatory to the Intervention Convention, why is it that right from the outset, we did not board the plane and took advantage of the facilities being extended to us by people from the private sector to pump the oil right since the beginning?
No, but there were no private sector offer on that. And especially the bad weather, once, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to point out, once the salvers, that's not the protocol of the law. The Merchant Shipping Act, which I have already given precision in my answer, that is in line with the Merchant Shipping Act, we have followed what has been, the same case like Angel 1, which has wrongly, the facts which have been wrongly distorted. The salvers take command of the boat and there it starts.
Speaker, we are talking of the worst oil spill disaster that this country has ever known. We are talking of livelihoods. We are talking of people making a living from the sea. We are talking of ecosystem which is collapsing. Can I ask the Honourable Minister, in a press conference by government on Thursday the 6th, 2020, it was said that depuis que sa bateau là fin échoué, ban autorité fin prend tout ban disposition nécessaire. What measures were taken by your ministry with regard to the vessel in the first week of the grounding from 25th to the 31st July, and assess whether there was a risk of oil spill and what measures were taken to prevent the oil spill?
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order.
The due diligence has been made constantly by the relevant authorities and reported on a daily basis to the Director of Shipping. Daily reports have been communicated to the authorities. Daily reports have been received from the salvers.
Mr. Speaker, have you finished, Minister? Yeah. Last Tuesday, in his parliamentary reply to question B476 from Honourable Leopold, the Honourable Minister of Environment was bragging about the preparedness of his ministry in the event of a major oil spill, I quote, in any part of the lagoon in the Republic of Mauritius. Yet this government did not assume its responsibility with the consequences that there has been a collapse of the ecosystem in this country. And we hold this government totally responsible. And the two ministers, the Minister of Environment and the Minister of Fisheries, they are both guilty of impropriety. They should resign. They should resign. That's what they are. Incompetence, sheer incompetence.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Ashevadan, behave yourself.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we are not only talking of Mauritius, but in the whole world, every ship is salvaged by salvors. This is it.
Speaker, until last Wednesday, that is the 5th of August, the Minister of Environment and yourself led our nation and our country to believe that the situation was under control, when in fact, environmental disaster was looming in our country. Don't you think that you should both either step down or revoke for your incompetence, your slowness to react, and your short-sightedness?
Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a very serious issue. I don't want to do politics.
Order.
We are implementing the government headed by the Prime Minister.
Order.
We have already started. The opposition are on the all rooftop just shouting and making all sort of cheap politics.
This is the last warning, Honorable Ashevadan. Are you putting the question, Honorable?
Thank you. There has been a lot of criticisms with regards to your ministry taking all the time to take control of the situation. Now, if you have nothing to hide, there is, you said, this is the question, there is an agreement which has been signed between the company and the salvage team. And a copy of that agreement is in the possession of the Director of Shipping. For the sake of transparency, would you be prepared to table a copy of the agreement so that the population is made aware when the company was supposed to start operation of the salvage?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have nothing to hide. I have no hidden agenda. Neither the government and neither the Prime Minister, and neither anybody on this side. So far, the government has left no stone unturned to deal with this catastrophe. Even the population is aware of this. I don't reply, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order. Order on this side also.
Whether he's ready to table the agreement or not, this is all. I asked the minister whether he is prepared to table the agreement.
Honorable Abbas Mahmoud.
The salvage agreement. Yeah, now, all this is inquiry, but I don't think this is a document which can be given. Listen, écoutez, il y a une enquête qui a été enclenchée. Alors, attendons voir. Let them see all the documents and obviously...
Honorable Ramphal, you put your questions and don't argue. Honorable Boulel?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. In the light of what the Honorable Minister has stated, from the grounding on the 25th of July, it took Prime Minister a very long 14 days to declare an environment emergency. Has your ministry received any direction to prepare a contingency plan? And if so, will he table a copy of that plan? Because you are talking of people from Rivière de Créole, Grand Port, Blue Bay, Tissab, Grand Sab, all those people are waiting for you to know where is your contingency plan to save livelihood, to protect fishermen, and to protect all those aching and living from the sea.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the all contingency plan was deployed on the same day. I already answered this on the main question.
You're running away from the facts, from the reality. You are guilty of impropriety.
Come on, leader
Take
of the
the
opposition.
answer.
Leader of the opposition. Control yourself.
Mr. Speaker, can I ask the minister, since when exactly has he been made aware that there was a real risk that the vessel will break? Since when?
Mr. Speaker, it's only on the 6th morning that we got that information. That was a structural crack. We were informed by the salvors. The salvors informed the director of shipping, and we were informed, and immediately the oil contingency plan started. Everything was deployed, same day.
The minister has failed to table
Address it,
any
yeah.
of the agreement. Yes, Minister. Mr. Speaker, I'm talking to him. I will talk through you to him. Now, can I ask the Honourable Minister, until last Wednesday, and I mentioned what he said. Now, clearly, him and the Minister of Environment have had what I call a delayed reaction time, with the result that today we are facing the worst oil disaster. Worst oil disaster. In any country, in any country which is respectful of the law of law, the rule of law, and democracy, in any country which is respectful, these two ministers should have resigned. They should have resigned.
This is not a question. This is
They
not
should
a
have
question.
resigned.
You're expressing your opinion. This is not a question.
Fact, it's the-
Duval,
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask Honourable Minister whether it is his attendons voir attitude that led to the fact that since the vessel was grounded on 25th July, no pumping of oil was made from the vessel to the many available barges existing in Mauritius and owned by the private sector, and no attempt was made to fix the starboard side of the ship by anchor so that it would not drift. Is it his attendons voir attitude that has led now to the request for his immediate revocation and dismissal?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I already answered that. I did answer.
Wait.
Listen.
the Honourable Minister has the right to answer the supplementary question.
And, Mr. Speaker, sir, under the Merchant Shipping Act, no one can intervene on the vessel before
Order!
But listen.
Order! Order! Order!
Before the LOF is signed and concluded due to issue of liabilities on the vessel. There's an issue of liabilities. As per international norms, the salvage operation can only be conducted by professional salvors once the Lloyd's standard form of salvage agreement is signed. It is only the duties of the salvor. You know, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me remind the members of the opposition, had we taken the decision to try to salvage the
Honourable
vessel,
Patrika Siavaden,
and all
be careful. Be
and-
careful. I already gave you the last warning.
I wish to draw your attention. You all here since so long, even for Angel 1, for Benita, all the same process. Every time we have followed the law. You had done the same thing. We are doing the same, we are following the law. Because there is this liabilities clause in it.
Don't argue, Honourable Duval. Last supplementary question, Honourable Boulel.
Mr. Speaker, in view of the unprecedented crisis that this country is experiencing, following the grounding of the vessel and the oil spill, may I ask the Honourable Prime Minister, through you, to set up a commission of inquiry to look into any irregularities, inappropriate decision, and other culpable acts or omissions which have brought about this ecological catastrophe which has struck our country, and that the two ministers should step down pending the inquiry.
No, this is not a question. So time is over.